Welcome back to the garage, everyone. It's a great day. It's the weekend again. So I'm just going to show you some more updates on the 1978 YZ125. I've got my new seat cover on. I picked that up from Vintage Roost in Stony Plain, Alberta. I actually just have this seat and tank sitting on the bike at the moment just to kind of get a little aesthetic in my mind here. Other things I've done, I did get the new steering head bearings in. Got my triple clamps on now, bolted on, put a set of handlebars on. These are not the permanent bars I'm going to use. They're just a cheapo set that I had in the shop, and I just wanted to set them on there to kind of get my look started and see what things I need to change. I will use a bar with a bit taller rise because these are a little too low and they make you feel funny when you're sitting on the bike. I do have my forks in, and so I've painted these forks white and I've put these blue gaiters on. And I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking like, Mark, what the heck are you doing? What kind of clown bike are you making there? Trust me, I do actually have a go forward vision on this, and I think it's gonna look really good. I hope it turns out looking really good. I'm doing a white rear fender with the yellow number plate, and once the backgrounds and numbers are on, and the graphics are all on, I think this bike's gonna look really cool. It's gonna have a white oval number plate on the front, some recycled graphics on it, and a few other stickers and graphics from companies that support me and I support them. One other thing I did get the engine rear bracket mounted in. I've got my rear tire mounted. I've put the old sprocket back on the bike. This is a 51.2 sprocket. I have 48 or 49, I can't remember which right off the top of my head. The reason I didn't put a new sprocket on here yet is I want to try the bike with both of the ratios, and then at that point I will purchase a new sprocket in the desired tooth pattern. This one's still very usable. It's just beginning to show signs of hooking a tiny bit, but very usable for testing purposes, that's for sure. Well, in fact, I'd get a season out of that probably in real life. One more thing here. In the last video, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I called this a chain adjuster. I completely realized it's not a chain adjuster. It is an automatic tensioner for the chain. So that is how that thing sits, and there's our new roller we built right up in there. There's this guard that covers it. If you notice, I've got this big flat spot in my guard. So that flat spot was caused due to the fact these originally had a kickstand on them. So this was where the bracket was. The kickstand would come out, and of course they get all worn out over time, and when you're riding they're flopping and banging against this, and whoever owned the bike obviously didn't worry about that, and it kept wearing against that and caused this flat spot. So I didn't feel it necessary to build that back up. I just kind of filed off the rough spots and repainted it, and it's going to be suffice good enough as a guard against things striking near the sprocket area. Anyways, I'm going to now mount up my rear wheel, perhaps even slip the engine in if time permits, and I'll jump right back with you as soon as we get those things accomplished. All right, so I've had a fairly productive afternoon. I did get my wheel mounted in. Unfortunately, it is just sitting in here because I pulled a Dobird move and forgot my new brake shoes at work, and I also forgot these new adjuster bolts. There's some new ones hanging on the shelf at the shop, and I forgot to grab them. I got my motor bolted in fully, so that's an actual done project. One thing I need to still do is just kind of refurbish my nut and a new washer for here. I did also get my airbox in, so I'll just swing around the other side here so you can have a look at that. I got my new filter in. I will have to still pull that out and oil it, just set it together. Just getting all my bolts lined up and everything ready. This cover is not in the best condition. You can see it's got this horrible groove worn in it. It's actually through right here, and there's a little through hole worn in it right here. But it is the best I have at the moment. I'm gonna, of course, continue my search for a better one, and hopefully that'll work out. Going on to here, I still need to get my new clutch plates. Haven't showed up yet, but they are on the way. They should be here anytime. Just gotta finish putting this kicker assembly together, and once my new clutch is in, I'll put my gear and keyway in there, get that all bolted back on, and my new gasket, and on she goes. So that'll be finished. I am going to build an aluminum one of these. I am sick of these things cracking and breaking. Every stinking old bike you buy, they're just ridiculous. If you ever look at the little bit older Boysen rad valves, they are a solid aluminum plate with an aluminum pipe welded on and just a little barb machined into the pipe, and then a piece of like radiator hose with 2 clamps. And that's a far superior way to do that. And that's what I'm going to do on this. I'm sick of buying these. They're about $100 US plus shipping to get one, and you know, they don't last very long. So I think that's going to be a far superior way to do that. Like I said, I just got my brake panel sitting in here, but there is no new pads in there yet because I forgot them at work. I've started fooling around with the fit up on the side panel. I think it's going to work out pretty good. I did get this plastic from VMX Racing in the States. So that will sit approximately like that, probably go up a little tiny bit, but that should be a pretty nice fit up there. So just got to drill the hole here, and then I got to make a little mounting tab up front. Fast Tony from the Vintage Club, he gave me a great little tip on using the little bands. I don't know if you can kind of see in here. There's a little band that holds your CDI box on, and he makes himself these little tab like that out of metal and rivets them into the plastic, and then he uses the little bands to clip the front portion of these together, the 2 side panels. So I think I might try that. That sounds like a good idea. Speaking of Fast Tony, he also donated me this awesome little piece of rubber that goes onto the mudguard, and it just lets the seat pan seal against that so the mud and crap doesn't come up over the top. So I'd like to send a big thank you to him for that. Also, one of the other things I'm going to do here right away is start fooling around with trying to find the correct carburetor for this. Amazingly enough, both of these bikes did not come with a carburetor. I do have the spec on what the correct carburetor is. It is a 32 millimeter Mikuni carburetor. A lot of guys say go with a bigger carb, but I actually, the way I ride a bike, I actually prefer a little more bottom end to the bike, so I'm probably going to stay with a 32 millimeter carb. I am toying with the idea of finding Electron or running Electron on there. We'll see how that goes. They're a little bit pricey at the moment, but you know, they're well worth the money with the saving of the tuning. Like, they're easy to tune, and they self-tune to atmospheric pressure and temperature, so that's a big plus to running one of those. I tend to believe that it is money well spent. Anyways, that's the progress so far. I'm gonna start picking away at a few other things, and I'll be back with you guys as soon as possible. Okay, so we've made her back out to the garage, and I remembered to bring home my new stainless steel adjuster bolts, so I've just got those set in. I also, look at that, remembered to bring my brakes home, so that's going to be fun. I'll get those in. I won't show you putting those in. I mean, it's just a matter of pulling the wheel off, clipping them in, and they're done, so I won't bore you with that. But these adjusters, I just wanted to take a second to talk about these. These are a stainless steel product, and they come from a company called Bolt Motorcycle Hardware. And this is a fantastic company. This little kit here, see, very inexpensive, $6.99 retail. They also come with a bit of copper coat anti-seize, and that's really important on if you're putting these bolts into an aluminum swing arm. It makes a big difference. They can seize up and gall in there if you don't take care of that. So remember when you're servicing your bike once in a while, take your adjusters out and put some anti-seize on them. These track kits from this company are amazing. This one here is it's one of the sort of the big master sets for Kawasaki motorcycles, and they just come with everything, and it's so nice to have these factory looking hardware to put back in your bike if you lose a bolt, or if you're just bought a bike and you're putting new plastic on and stuff like that. You know, they've got the bosses machined right onto them, and they're very nice. That one's got a little bit of marks on it. I'm not sure why, but they really work fantastic, and they're very economical in comparison to purchasing your individual bolts from your OEM dealer. That's always nice to do, but sometimes very unaffordable. Other thing I've got done on the bike here is I've got my fender actually mounted in. Kind of put a fancy little washer on there, and it looks kind of nice. Little details sometimes are nice to put on your bike. They're kind of subtle, but they just, you know, make the bike pop a little bit. Also, our friends at Vintage Roost got us number plates for the front of the bike. These are Preston Petty. And also backgrounds, pre-cut backgrounds. You just stick those on. They have their logo on there, so that's awesome. I like running these ones with the white border. I think they look really nice. So I'll get that stuff mounted on. I got to make a little bracket to mount these, but that should go pretty smoothly. And I finally have my Kickstarter set in, and I just set the engine case on to make sure my clearance and free play worked out correctly on that. So I finally have the correct Kickstarter shaft in there, so I'm just going to actually clean it up a little bit more, and once my clutch plates are in, I'll put that all together. But just going to end the video now. Just wanted to give you guys an update. So I hope everyone's doing well while we're going through this isolation period. So I'll just pan back here a little bit so you can actually see the entire motorcycle. Almost tripped there when I was backing up. But yeah, I'm excited to get the graphics done for the bike and get them on, and get a pipe and carb. Things are going to start coming along here pretty good. We're doing a little bit more work on Evans, getting him caught up, and these things are, I'm just pleased with the way they're starting to look. So anyways, like I said, I'm going to end the video. Please, if you get an opportunity, subscribe and like our video. And also, if you get a chance, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And just once again want to thank you for watching our videos, and hope you can join us on the next one.